I'm basically I'm from a small town in Lonavala called Marli. So my childhood spent there, and my father found work in here in city Pune. So he moved on here. I was that time I was in eighth grade, and they decided that it will make me hard to switch the school suddenly and adjust to a new atmosphere. So they decided to keep me there only. uh, let me finish my SSC board exam, and so I stay with my uncle those two years. Yes, and I came in between those 2 years. I came between to city, spending school holidays with my parents. Yeah, and by those time I realized that I'm getting bored here because back in hometown, my lots of time I spent with outside activity with my friends. We used to go in lakeside in summer mostly for swimming. And if you know, the Lonavala is surrounded by beautiful mountains. So we used to go travel those area on cycle, and those narrow empty roads surrounded by lots of tree. So my childhood was mostly surrounded by nature only in there. So when I came here, it's literally a different uh, uh, atmosphere for me to adjust. First of all, when I finished my primary school and moved here with my family, even now I don't know how to put it in words, because for me it's like confusing word for around me, and I'm completely lost in that world. Uh, it's it's like you uh, cut down a small tree from jungle forest and plant it in your home balcony. So it's like that for the early period of uh, for me in city. And how I discovered cinema, I think only by that time, because of my brother, I think. uh, uh, because where we used to live by that time in city, there's no boys of my age. So I my lots of time I spend in home only with myself. And that time I saw a diary of my brother. So I start reading out. There's a few stories he wrote, and somehow I connect with that stories, because the the because that story is about a person who cut down from the roots. So actually start with those story. I start thinking about myself, and the time I spent in my hometown mostly. And I invest lots of time about thinking my hometown, especially those early periods of in city. And I hardly go outside by that time, so I also parallelly watch cinema on television. It's all about a commercial cinema that I watch. Uh, but later on. There's also one friend of mine, Savya Sachin, who is a FTI pass out. So I'm like when when I'm in Mumbai with my friend. So he used to come to meet us. So one day he's watching one film, uh, Taste of The Wine Will Carry Us
Abbas Kiarostami.
by Abbas Kiarostami. And I'm just sitting next to him, and just he watching a film without a sound. So I asked him, why you mute the sound? And then he replied me that because I want to understand the story with only visuals. And I never thought about that before. And that I think that also changing change my perspective towards the how to watch cinema. And then we had a conversation about lots of films and a filmmaker with him. Then somehow I found world cinema through that. Then I also attend a couple of film festivals in Pune. And I at that time I blow my mind because I never watched this kind of cinema before, where I watch small films and the storytelling, the craft and the everything. And by that time I just came home and uh, Google the prestigious film festival in the world. Then I discover Cannes Film Festival, Berlin, Venice, and then I go through Wikipedia and make a list that each editions which films uh, is the best films. And then somehow I starting to grab those films and watch it at home. And there's a time that I watch 3 films in a day. So I'm like obsessed with the films by that time. So, and also I made some couple of short films, which is taught me a lot. I learn from it's not that good films, but I learn a lot those early short films. So this
How
is how
old
it
were
was.
you? How old were you at that point of
I
time?
was 23, 23, maybe, yeah, 23, 24.
Currently, how old are you? Currently, how old are you?
I'm a 31 right now.
Okay. So at that point of time, you were studying anything like which course were you doing?
I'm at the age of 22. 22, I did a one film diploma from the private institute in Pune. So but I don't learn anything from there because we are early 20s, and I only go to do time pass there, surround the campus and all that thing. I learn cinema very late in my life. I think I discover cinema very late in my life, after 25
Were
and
your
24.
parents okay with
Yeah,
it
after
that you
passing.
want to become a filmmaker, like you are interested in films?
No, not really, actually. uh, the early period, they are okay with that because then they also don't know anything about the filmmaking field. But later when they found out it's a big struggle, and so they had a are you really sure you want to carry on with this? But by that time I'm also learning by myself. So I thought ki let me give me a chance, and uh, let me understand this field, and let me do the films. And then if that's not work, uh, I will switch the field.
Okay. How much time they said you'll take this much amount of year? 1 year, 2 year?
uh, Actually, I always request them for a year, but I keep pushing them by year. So how this is how
So before
I
making
maintain.
so before making Blossom, did you assisted somewhere or some director filmmaker?
No, no, actually, my before Blossom, my most of time watching films only, and literature came in my life very late. Actually, yeah, I read some. Ranjit Desai is a Marathi author. So I read his some short stories. His trilogy, especially I really like Megh, Ashad, and Vaishak. It's a three season of the like rain, summer, and winter. So each book is dedicated by season wise. So it's a beautiful a trilogy. And then there is a also in Hindi literature I like Amit Chaudhary and especially his novel Stranger and the Sublime Addresses. I really connect that novel because the story, the plot of that novel is there is a one small boy who came to Kolkata to spend a holiday with his uncle. So my life is, I connect with that boy and the experience he had in a Kolkata city, and it's a beautiful story. And while doing the reading those novel, I always feel something will happen, but at the end nothing is happen, and that's the beauty of that novel. And so that I really like his novel. And then there's also Vinay Kumar Shukla. He's a poet also, and a writer also. He's one novel that I like was Diwar Mein Khidki Rehti Thi. So yeah, this is also a very good novel. It's about the communication between husband and wife, and in that in that conversation a wife suddenly shift towards the fantasy. So it's a beautiful novel, yeah. So this kind of stuff I read in literature. And during writing of the Blossom, I reading about a Kafka a lot. Yeah, Franz Kafka. So the climax of the Blossom is inspired by Kafka's one short story
Okay, which one?
that I read. Uh, there's a true story of Kafka met a small girl in a garden. She's crying because her doll is missing. So Kafka somehow uh, convince her that her doll uh, goes to a travel, and she promised that she will write a letter to you. So every weekend or month, Kafka wrote a letter and give to that girl. And at the few months after later, Kafka came with the new doll and give that girl and saying that she's coming from the journey. And but the girl was shocked and said, no, my doll is not like her, no, she's different. And Kafka said that journey changed her. And after many years girls found a one small letter in that doll, and she read out, and Kafka wrote that letter that there's a small paragraph in the end of that letter that the things we love will be will lose at the end of the day, but love will return in your life in another way. So those paragraphs really hit me. And that's the meaning of my climax also, that he the love come in his life in a different way. And Kafka had a uh, very different philosophy of life, which is I really love. and it's very hard to his writing is very hard to understand, because he sometimes he write in a very fantasy way also. So it's very some of the thing even I don't understand what's the meaning of that. So it's very hard to understand Kafka.
So what was the experience while shooting Blossom? Like the idea came from here, like other experiences as well.
No, the story is upon a true character actually. He's my cousin actually. Yes, during I did a one short film in my hometown called Kadachit, and during that time, uh, I never met my cousin in those years, but I know what's happening in his life. So he called me that came and we will meet because I'm in a hometown. So I told him that just let me finish my shoot and we will meet after the backup. And then after I did the last scene of the film, and then we met, and we hardly met for 20 minutes. And in 20 minutes we talked about our the childhood and many family stuffs. And then in between I asked her ki, uh, whether your wife will come or not, because that time he going through the separation, and he trying to convince also her to that somehow she convinced and back to her life. So and he also manager at one of the hotel in Lonavala. So he told me that I manage everything at work, but I never manage my own life. And that contrast really hit me. And when I came to Pune, I busy in my post production, but somehow that line in my head struck me, and I decided to write down the story, centraling by the separation. And I am also have a wish to make a film on memories, uh, by long time before. So I thought this is the, I think, best subject if I uh, write. And the central character is struggling from the memories of someone. And when I told about separation, I think is not only mean about the physical separation. It's also about the memory. A person is not with you, but the memory still with you. And letting go by that memory it's the hardest part of the life, because we can't control our memory. So by doing the writing, uh, learn when I decided about the storyline, I know that I want to uh, show this film through a minimalism way. uh, I by doing the writing, I know I don't want to show his ex-wife throughout the film. Even I don't want to show why they separate. I also want to know. I just want to show that the stuckness of the person with the memory, and how he came out from that memory, and what happened in between the with him in that storyline. That if, and every character of the film has come from a real inspiration of my life. uh, the guest character, uh, he's come from when I was in Manali for a yeah. There is a one receptionist whom I talked a lot during a night, because I'm just in a day I was just hanging around the Manali, and then at night I am just sit in a reception area and talking with him. And he, at the one point, he uh, told me a lot about himself, that he used to chef in same hotel. And one day a person come from Mumbai for a stay. He like his food, so he approached him to came to Mumbai. He have a hotel, so he decided to go there. And he did a 25 years job in his hotel. And in those years he never came to his hometown Manali. And after 25 years suddenly he felt that he missed his hometown. And he earned enough money, and he decided to quit a job and came back to his hometown. And when he came to hometown, he said, I'm really old by that time, so I also don't want to do chef anymore. So he decided he request the same hotel owner, he let me do a receptionist job. So currently he's a receptionist job. So I really like his story a lot, and it stay with me. And also what interesting fact in that in those 5 to 3 days I know about a person, certain things. And even I don't have his number. I don't know even his name. I don't ask him what's your name, but still he share some personal things to me. So from that experience, I wrote the guest character that came to his hotel, and they share certain emotions through the stories. And the neighbor lady. Uh, I in my hometown, there is a one lady who just came to my hometown. And she's living with a man, which I thought he's his father. But later on, my mother said me, no, he's his husband, and he's a 20-year older than her. And I don't know, when I writing these stories, I suddenly I thought about that girl. And I again I asked my mother to tell me more about that woman. And then my mother tell me that she had a kidney problem, and her family does not have enough money to to operate her kidney. And then his current husband told them that I will give you money, but there is a condition that also want to marry her. So the that's how they got together. And then when I start thinking about those relationship, I also thought about that maybe because of the person is he knows that that there is a time when I need someone to take care of me, because his first wife died by some reason, and he don't have any child from his first marriage. So he's a lonely person, and he wants someone to carry on with life. So maybe that's his approach. That's why he came with the approach that I will treat her, but there's also one condition, that I want to marry her. So that's how I come with the neighbor story, that there is no love, but there is only a moral responsibility in between them that she just want to carry on with that. So that's how the second neighbor story was come in that film.
So how long it took to write the film?
For me, for it's like 1 year. I wrote in film in a lockdown, and I shoot in 2013 2023. I shoot in a three schedule. The whole year only did a shooting. Firstly, we shot a climax of the film in rain, and then in October we shot all the home portion of the film, and in December we shot the hotel portion. So yeah, and in 2024 we
And
made a
properly
post production.
edit as well to make the whole film, how much time it took?
No, sorry, mm, no we actually shot a film in 2022. Yeah, and 23 because I don't have enough budget. Uh, so uh, so we it took us whole year to do a post production, because side by side also doing job, because I need a money to do a post production. So it takes whole year to me to finish this post production, to sound design, and also I edited by myself films, and I'm not a proper editor, and maybe that's why it take me 4 or 5 months to edit this film, because because uh, every time I thought it's not working for me. uh, the film length was, the first draft was 1 hour 20 minutes. So I cut down the lots of footages, scenes from the final draft, and make it shorter, and the I don't want to, uh, because there is a lots of unengaging scenes in that film, which is, I thought it is irrelevant towards the emotions, and those world. So I cut down those scenes and make it little shorter.
So if what was the budget like if somebody wants to make uh, a film like Blossom?
Very less. It's under 2 lakh.
Oh, wow, wow. That's great because
Very.
I was asking someone who made a short film, like it was only 20 minutes short film, and he made that film in 10 lakhs. So it's great. Like he made.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
everybody were like
And
your friends or they were like professionals?
no, everyone is like fresher. Like I never met them before. Only expect from the lead actor. His casting is also very interesting. Yeah, when I did my short film Kadachit, so there's a one actor called Shruti Madhu. She is also a very good actor. So she made a one short film, and Ram is doing a lead in that film. So I meet him off the screen 1 or 2 times, but when I see him on screen first time, he struck me, because whenever he talk the dialogue in that film, I really felt that it come from his heart. He convinced me with his performance, and that time I writing, I mean, just I don't even finish my first draft, but I know that the film does not have any dialogue. So I want someone who, whenever he talk in my film, he will convince you on the screen, because we don't know about his past life. So it's very important for me to, whenever he talk, uh, he will convince the viewer that it will happen with him. So, and I also, like his eyes a lot. When I saw the film, he has a very innocence and very intense as well eyes. So, when I just finished my first draft, I called him and I narrate to him the, the first draft, and he like it, but it take me more than a year to write. And so he's the only person who is with me through the 2 years before the shooting. So he's the only one person, and we never rehearsed the any scene before the shoot, but we talked a lot about a character and his his emotions, those kind of thing. We talked a lot.
How big was the crew?
Few, it's like 8 or 9 people, including actor. Yeah, it's easy when you have a small crew. It's easy to shift, and it's very easy to do even a fast work. You don't have to rely on anyone. Just it's a maximum time we wake at the 7 or 8 o'clock, and in a half an hour we start shooting. So it's easy to move on with the small crew.
While watching the film, I realized during the house scenes, the inner portions, there were a lot of entrapment. The character feels entrapped inside the house. Was it intentional or
Yes, it is intentionally, because when I wrote the film, I know the location in my mind. uh, uh, though each and every location you saw in the film, that's the only location uh, that does not change through the time. Those are the same location which I had experience in my childhood. So I know by writing this film that I want to shoot here, and I have a emotional connection with those locations. And by by choosing especially those locations, because I don't want to give a space to a character a lot. And I also want a certain kind of deadness in that house. uh, if you remember the film, wall the wall have a no color in those walls, so that was all intentionally. And that's why I choose that house.
and there is a sense of repetitiveness as well. Repetition is
Sorry.
repetition is going on in his daily life.
Yes, yes. So it's come from also me, because when I came to city, I was living in a monotonous life. There is nothing happening in my life. I wake up in the morning, I'm having a lunch and breakfast, then going to a college, then came to home. And this is like a very boring monotonous life of my. I lived like this like 3 4 years. And I was by that time, I'm really stuck by something that I don't understand. And I want that kind of monotonous in his life also, that where he did not want to do anything new in his life. He's not even interested in that. And it's very hard to even figuring out that what's going on uh, with me, when we just stuck in something. It's very hard to figuring out. So those kind of elements I had decided before the shooting only.
So, what's the future of Blossom? Like, if somebody wants to see the film, how can they watch it? Like, it's currently doing the festival run.
Yeah, now the film is under the submission process, because we had just finished the film. It had its premiere at Kalaguda art festival. And now in coming festivals, I hope that film selected, and audience can watch it on festival circuit.
Absolutely, it's a beautiful film. Like everybody has to watch it. So, what are your advice for upcoming filmmakers? If somebody wants to become a filmmaker, what are your advice?
I don't know because I'm also a new filmmaker, so I don't know what to advise. But the what is work for me is like watching cinema, especially watching different kinds of films and discovering a filmmaker. I still remember I when I watched Abbas Kiarostami Taste of Cherry. It's changed my perspective towards cinema. I don't know how many time I watched that film, but uh, when I start watching the film, I thought it's about death and suicide. But later on, I decided film never talk about death, talk about life. And when I discovered that thing, I really love film. And his uh, Abbas Kiarostami, every film he celebrate life only. Is take it his close up, Test of Cherry, Wine Will Carry Us. Those films are his masterpiece. And then there is also one filmmaker that I like was Nuri Bilge Jalan, and lots of people talk his late film like Winter Sleep and Once Upon a Time in Antondolia, his recent film about Dry Grasses. But I like his early filmography a lot, and I love his Climate. I think it came in 2006. Climate. It's about complicated relationships and how people will react when they separate to each other. So yeah, it's a beautiful film, Climate. Then there is also one filmmaker which I like was is a Jhajanke. He's a Chinese
Yeah,
filmmaker. So
Still Life. He made Still Life.
his Still Life. Yes, this is his Still Life is my most favorite film. It's about two-person who came to a small village uh, by searching their life partner, and a man came to the village to found his wife who run away from him in 16 years. So he wants to answer that why she run away from me. So he wants the answer. And the lady who wants to find his husband because uh, she did not in touch with him physically, and she's someday she found that her husband is now a successful businessman in a village, and he have an affair with one woman who is an investor in his business. And uh, and when she found out his husband, we expect that she maybe hit him or abuse him, but nothing this kind of thing happen. She only she only tell him that she want a divorce because she found a someone, and we don't know that this is really happen, or she just want to give him his own medicine. Just because of you did this to me, even I want to do the same thing with you. And when the his husband asked him who is the guy, and she replied that is that really matter to you. So it's amazing film. And learn about the human nature and the jealousy or or the insecurities. It's a nice film.
Any Indian filmmakers you want to recommend?
The three of filmmaker I already told you, the Nuri Bilge Jalan, Kiarostami, and also Jafar Panay. He's an Iranian filmmaker. Jafar Panay, especially his later films, when Iran government banned him for making the film, and the way he made those films is incredible. Taxi in Tehran. This is not a film. No Beer, his latest film, No Beer. It's amazing, amazing films about a person who talk about the his community, about his injustice government, and lot of things. He's a master filmmaker. And then there is also mm, the Dardenne brothers, the from Belgium. So I really love them cinema also. The Rosetta. Uh, the story is about a girl who wants to do a job because she wants a better life, and her struggle to find the job in those city is is really heartwarming to see that film. Also, there is the son, and the a child, and a kid with the bike was my most favorite film. Kid with my the bike, where we found a very aggressive boy who wants to live with his father, but his father don't want him to live with him. So it takes him realize that kind of realization that his father don't want him, and how he expect that truth. So it's a beautiful film, Kid with the Bike. And in recent time, I like After Sun a lot, and I found out that film. It's a beautiful film. Yeah, and especially the Paul Mescal's performance in that film. It's outstanding performance. Even in that film, we don't know about a character. We only know about the character through his daughter perspective, and from his memory, from the old video footages that she had when they travel in Turkey, and it's a beautiful film. Even at the end of the films, I realized that a girl knows about his father, but does not know about a person who he is, and she is trying to understand him. And as a viewer, also we are trying to understand that what happened with him. He's dealing with financial issues. He's dealing with the depressions, and we know that there is a serious illness in him, but we can't feel it. We just observe it. So it's a beautiful film, After Sun. And in India, I would say I love Nasir by Arun Karthik. I think it's very hard to watch Nasir, because it's psychologically it's not easy to watch Nasir. So recent time I love Nasir. I love Duin also. Achal Mishra's Kamagar, Duin. I love those kind of films
Oh,
also. I like.
While watching Blossom, it reminded me somewhere of Achal Mishra's films like Kamagar and the.
Yeah,
It was reminding
yeah,
me.
yeah. Yeah, I love Achal Mishra. So he's an amazing, nice filmmaker, very nice filmmaker. And also, I like Joyland also. I saw it recently. I like Joyland, especially his climax, the pre-climax, when after his wife's suicide, he director shows the first meeting
Yeah, yeah.
that he came to his house, and I think it's like a memory for him that he stay with him forever of his wife. I think it's a beautiful film. Joyland.
Suraj, thank you so much. I have seen Blossom. and I really really loved it. I hope everybody will see it and they will love it as well. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much for joining the podcast.